4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're here.
Hi.
It's going.
Wait, you did that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
Great.
got the countdown. It's good. So that
good.
debate though.
Oh man, don't get.
That's how you're gonna start?
What?
That's how you're gonna start it.
I mean, yeah.
By the time that you're listening
my
to this
God.
episode, you know what we're talking about.
Well, they probably already watched the highlights. They probably already gone through the process. The meme,
My
the
favorite thing.
TikTok, the remix.
Listen, my favorite thing.
Except they also might no, because the next one is gonna be Tuesday night, right?
Next week,
maybe.
the vice presidents.
Yeah.
The next week?
Yeah.
Pence and Harris.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
At least that one will probably make more sense.
That will make more sense, and there won't be as much arguing because we both know that because of the age of the candidates, we know who's going to actually be running the office. Anyway. Attention.
Disclaimer.
We're not a
we are
political
not.
I'm not an
podcast.
ageist.
We're not political
I
podcasts.
am
We're
not a
not,
crook.
we're not political analysts.
We just thought
which one
last
does that
night was
mean?
hilarious.
Okay.
Listen,
There's a lot of people in the world that don't think it's funny.
can I talk?
It's not funny.
Okay, it's not funny.
We're talking about our country.
Yeah, country.
You know what we really need to talk about?
Listen, can I tell
Is
you
we need
this?
to welcome people to episode 7.
No, but let me say this one
Okay.
thing. Okay, we'll do that in a second. My favorite thing about the observations of last night by the media was an anchor, I believe, from Fox, calling
God.
calling it. It was MSNBC.
Yeah.
No, CNN.
No, I think she was
CNBC.
CNBC.
Yeah.
She called it, and I
She?
quote, "Yeah, there was a woman."
Oh, different one. Okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about the guy who's called garbage fire.
a garbage fire.
That was
No,
CNN.
That was CNN, but
Oh.
there was a woman I think on Fox, and she called it a.
What?
Do the sound that cuts out cuss words. She called it a.
I don't have that sound.
She called it a shit show. Edit it later.
What? No, just beep yourself.
She said that?
She said, "Sorry,
That's
I'm
what
going
it
to be
was.
candid."
Okay, you
but
already said it. You already said it.
last night was and I have to use language that maybe to our observers won't be nice, but
Okay, you've already said it.
Okay.
You're
And she
explaining
said
the
it.
whole thing
Okay.
that you already said.
Okay, great,
It's like
great.
you're explaining the joke and you already told the punchline.
I love punchlines.
You know what else is good about
What kind of punch?
The Canada Dry, the ginger ale,
I
and the
love-
sherbet.
No,
Yeah.
sherbet.
I was sherbet and
Yeah,
ginger
and
ale,
sherbet.
and
What flavor sherbet?
hang on, the orange sherbet or you
Lime.
can use the lime. But I was at the
I'll have a
Walgreens
bunch of
and I
ginger
bought
ale.
some ginger ale, and the lady checking me out, I mean at the register, she said, she said that ginger ale and the punch that you can mix together is really good.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's great about it is it's better for you than ice cream.
Wow.
And I left
Yeah.
and I thought about that and I was like, I don't know about that.
You don't know. How was that? Okay. Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask the lady who was checking you out that told you that punch was good.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to ask her if she grew up in the Church of Christ.
I almost did.
You know? Like, how do you know about that punch? Because the only place I ever had it was...
I'll be having that punch.
I've been having that punch at the potluck.
Mm-hmm.
I miss potlucks, guys, if I'm honest.
Man, there goes that phone again.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Someday
our...
we're going to have a studio with no phones.
we'll have one of those
other
on-air
day-
signs.
Taco Bell called the house.
What?
What
I have
they-
a picture.
That's
they
when
want.
you know. That's when you know you go too much. When they have your personal home number. Who's been on Taco Bell?
Oh, Mr. Gunnels, we were just wondering if you were going to come get the cheesy gordita crunch that you usually get every other day. Because we hadn't seen you in a while. We thought you were dead, so...
Yo, but for real, when you're a regular somewhere and you don't show up on your regular time for a few days, like when I was working at the gym, and we had some Silver Sneakers members.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and they don't show up, then you're like, "Oh, you okay?"
Well, I mean, you saw that thing about the guy who ordered Domino's for like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And for a week. Like, and they were finally like, this guy hasn't ordered pizza for a few days. And they sent the cops and he was dead.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Wow,
Probably
on that
from
note,
eating pizza for 30 years, but, you know. Anyways, thank you for sponsoring us, Domino's. We love your delicious cheesy pizza. Oh, rough.
Pizza that doesn't kill.
Yeah.
And
Tombstone.
for better
The
options.
pizza that's so good it kills.
Oh.
Is that their tagline?
No.
Mm.
All right, let's get into this episode, y'all.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. My name is Spencer,
My name's Connor.
Chandler.
and you're listening to the Milkman Made Me podcast.
You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose.
Just play the
Because I
music.
didn't pause?
You freaking have to pause.
Okay, I'll pause.
You've
I'll pause.
I'm tired of this every time.
don't
Okay, we'll do it right.
do it right.
My name is Spencer.
I'm Chandler.
It goes Connor,
a flow.
Spencer, Chandler,
There's
Spencer,
a
Connor,
flow.
Chandler. Wait your turn.
There was a flow.
In the universe, you had to wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name's Spencer.
My name's Connor.
I forgot who I was for a second.
My name's Spencer,
My name's Connor.
I'm Chandler.
and you're listening to
The Milkman Made Me.
Who made you? What made me? Mix it all together, we get society. The milkman made me. Fresh perspective, chasing our dreams. Whole lot of joy and honesty. The milkman made me. The milkman made me.
Do we say podcast or not say podcast?
I
Because
don't
you were
know.
about to say it.
I know I was about to say it.
Because I think it's a little
then I didn't
meta.
say it.
I think it's a little meta for people that are listening to the podcast to say you were listening to the Milkman Made Me podcast.
All right, so last week, real quick, before we call Whitney, our special guest that we have coming in, talking and breaking down the Enneagram with us, before we call her or before she calls us, because it's about that time. Last week, we talked about the social dilemma, and I haven't quite listened to the entire episode yet. But I remember last week being like,
Yeah.
man, this is one of my favorite episodes. Like, I just felt like we flowed. I felt like we made a lot of great points. Now, sure, a lot of them were our own points, but at least we made them.
Your back must hurt right now from patting yourself on it so much.
I have a point right now.
Yeah.
Speaking
Oh
of
my gosh.
social dilemma.
I wasn't on social media. I was playing a game. It's different.
No, it's not.
Shh. You don't know that.
It's the exact same formula that they pump into the app
It is.
to get you addicted.
They got you, Chandler.
What?
They got you.
Hold on. I just have to pick up my
They have you
phone.
too, Spencer.
Leave your phone there. I'm about to call Whitney.
Yeah, but they have you too. Don't try to lie to the
They
people
have
listening.
you too. Quick, get Coldplay to rescue them.
No, listen. They have you too is because you two downloaded
You
that
really like
album.
that one, huh?
I do.
Play the sound. You like that one, huh?
Oh,
You don't know where it is.
Yeah, I do.
Read the thing. There you go. Is that good? You like
Yeah.
that?
Do I have to be on the thing to play?
All right, we need to call.
don't.
We need to call
Okay,
her.
great.
Let's call her.
All right, we're calling Whitney. She is a Enneagram. Hang on. Can I give her a
was
good
that?
proper introduction?
Introduce her when she's on the phone.
Okay, she's an Enneagram expert. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, well, expert.
That's good.
You can be an
Yeah.
expert in something that's only existed for
It's
2
been around.
years.
No. It's been around
Wow,
longer.
let's call her and have her yell at you about that.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds great.
Is it on? There it is. Hope she's ready.
Yeah.
If she doesn't answer, I told her.
Oh my god.
Life happens.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like an expert to me.
She's an expert in Enneagram. Maybe her Enneagram.
She's not an expert in answering her phone. But
We never
that's
said
for
she
you,
was.
Bobby.
But
I never
maybe her
said-
Enneagram. Maybe her Enneagram
Is bad at answering the
about
phone.
being late.
Dang.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna overuse that one this episode.
Oh.
Chan, so what are your
Can we
thoughts
have
on
a
the
serious
Enne-
conversation?
Yes. What are your thoughts on the Enneagram?
Okay. I think it's what's the proper term usage of terms here? I think it's a hunk of junk.
Okay, but listen, you said that after you came in and said you took the little mini test she gave us.
That,
and
but
said
I've
you
taken
didn't like what it told you.
Listen.
You said I don't like it because I don't like what it told me
no
about myself,
Can I tell you?
and that's unfair.
Can I break this down further for you? I didn't like that mini quiz because I took a more comprehensive one a year ago, one that had many more questions, and I got different results on that one. So this one doesn't seem like the sample size of questions big enough to really truly narrow it down.
Chandler's a load
I'm
of
just gonna predict. I'm just gonna predict right now, Chandler.
What do you think I am?
At the end of this episode, you're gonna be like, "Wow,
I'm an ass." Sorry.
Chandler, we're gonna have to cut this one explicit because of you. Solely because of you.
I haven't cussed that much.
Twice.
Well, he quoted somebody the first time, so technically he didn't say that.
And the other word's not that bad. It's biblical. It stays in roots with
When
our...
you say ready when you are and they thumbs you up and they don't call you back, does that mean you're supposed to call them back?
Why? Cut that part out. You freaking calling her out
Just
like that.
call
No, I'm
her.
just curious.
Hey, did you want me to
Oh
call?
my God.
Did you want me to call you
I'm
back?
calling right now. That's what I'm gonna ask her. The first thing.
Hello.
Okay, so it means to call you back. See, this is where I was confused for a second. When I said ready when you are, and then you thumbs up instead of calling me back, I just assumed, okay, I guess that means I need to call you back.
Oh, did you call me?
Yeah, I called you.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
okay.
know why. It's like
Oh,
ring
oh,
one.
yeah.
Chandler,
Sorry.
you need to calm down with the sass.
Huh?
Listen, Whitney, this is a perfect time because we are all high strung today, and we need Enneagram to humble us.
Okay.
That's what we need. Especially Chandler, who comes in here talking about it's a hunk of junk.
No, the only thing I need to humble me is Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. Okay. Not the Ennea fam.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't even know what he's talking about. But all I do know is that
Hey,
you are awesome for taking the time
Yeah.
to deal with us. For any length of time. But we're so thankful that you are joining us on the Milkman Made Me. And how excited are you?
I'm thrilled.
I think, you've known about and been you've listened to every episode, I think, by now, right?
Oh, I'm sure I have. Yes. I mean, you guys are, mixing things up. You got new shows, new little segments, and cool graphics.
It's crazy.
You're ready to go.
We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow and
Thank
get
you.
better. Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate that.
Yeah, that's just the two in me, I guess. But
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. We'll find out if you're a 2.
is that the achiever, right? Oh,
No.
Oh,
That's
I'm
a
the
3.
helper. Oh, I'm a 3.
You said you're a 7. We'll figure all that out. But
Yeah.
before we get there, Connor's
We're-
gonna tell me to be quiet.
Just
I'm sorry.
We got it. It's fine. Whitney, we're so excited for this episode. I'm really predicting that Chandler's gonna have a big piece of humble pie by the end of this. So, to get started, just kind of give us a basic background about yourself, and who you are. What you're doing with your life, all that kind of stuff. Tell us about you.
Cool. So, I am an Oregonian turned Texan, or turning Texan, I guess. Moved here about 3 years ago.
Nice.
And I'm a graphic designer by trade and also an Enneagram coach. And I've been studying the Enneagram for about 6+ years. It was introduced to me by my pastor as a tool to point out sin, and man, did it do that. And so I've been, and I'm trying to think, I'm extroverted. Is there anything else you guys want to know?
That's good. No, that's a good
Okay.
basic background for sure.
It is.
Oregonian. I mean,
Mhm.
that's it kind of sounds like a Skyrim race. To be honest with you, I think I've heard of Oregonian before, but I swear it sounds like a race from Skyrim. I might be
You mean Lord of the Rings?
or Lord of the Rings or something. No,
what
but
is
that's cool.
Oregonian?
From
Oregon?
Yeah.
What city in Oregon?
Medford. It's Southern Oregon.
So you
know,
guys are
across the
okay?
Southern Oregon. Well, nope. That's actually the place that got
that-
burnt to the ground.
Was that the fires?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
gonna
Medford
wonder.
is fine, but
Yeah.
Talent and Phoenix, right next to Medford,
Right.
is completely gone.
Do you
And
still
it's
have family
just-
out there?
I have a lot of friends and family out there.
Gotcha.
None of my friends and family that I know of, close friends and family,
Mhm.
were extremely affected.
That's
But
good.
I know a lot of my friends' relatives
Right, you know,
and other
people-
people at my
yeah.
church who lost their homes. It's
Dang.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. That's really bizarre. Dang.
This is the thing. You already gave Chandler one of those faces. Like, he was like, oh, when you said 6 years, you've been studying the Enneagram. Because earlier he said, what was she
I
going to
said,
tell us
how
about?
can you be an expert on something that's only been around for like two weeks?
No, you said
No.
2
Oh,
years.
She said 2 years, and you've been saying it for 6 years. And so, anyway, so I'm just pointing out, you can't see his face, but you gave him that, like, oh my gosh, wow, this is.
Well, how long has Enneagram like been around? Actually, like when was it kind of first? I mean,
Good
like
question.
legit put together.
Probably
yeah.
when the hippies were around.
Okay, I'm muting
Yeah,
you.
exactly. That's actually not. That's actually kind of true in a sense that it was introduced in 1960.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was kind of brought around by, I believe it's Oscar Ichazo, brought it to the U.S. or taught people that brought it to the U.S. But
cool.
as for the actual Enneagram system, it's widely debated on where the origins come from. A lot of people don't know, but they believe it's like oral tradition. But the best evidence that I've heard comes from Beatrice Chestnut. She, the Odyssey. I don't know if you guys know it.
Yeah.
The Odyssey is
Greek mythology?
a story that's about like a Greek poem that was written about 500 something BC, and basically, what's crazy about it is that it follows Odysseus through a bunch of different places, and each place represents a different thing to struggle with in life. And so it actually goes through the 9 types in order from 9 to 1.
Wow.
So that's kind of like a little bit of a, maybe that's a little snippet out, maybe that's where it's cool. So read that,
Super
But,
fun fact. That's awesome.
Well, I mean,
I had to
we
read
we
that.
had to read that in school.
Yeah.
So
And that
yeah, I
education
remember.
system that's trying to feed us Greek mythology.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that's not what this
trying to
episode
convert
is.
you to mythics.
They're trying to make me a Greek.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
How
I already
dare
am one.
they?
No, but okay. I mean, that's kind of interesting. So, well, then the question is posed. Then what Enneagram was? Is it Odysseus?
Yeah.
What was his Enneagram? All of them, because he had to go through everything.
I think he's an everyman kind of guy.
That's possible.
So I don't know how much depth of character he has, but I know that he struggles through each section. So he does hit each of the 9 types. But I have no idea.
Wow.
Interesting.
That'd be cool, new different study to break down more. So I have another question. So through, going through your life, practicing, studying this Enneagram, and just all the things you've gone through. Maybe kind of like Odysseus, going through all these, your life through struggles here and there, or ups and downs all through your life so far. Tell us what, when was the first time you kind of felt sure of yourself, like really positive and most confident about where your path is going in life?
The statement "sure of yourself" is not something I was like really thinking about that. I don't really know what that means, but confidence wise, I would say the first time I felt confident was in college. It was probably around 19 or 20, and it just hit me like all of a sudden, just like a bag of bricks, realizing that everyone is slightly insecure, or if they're not insecure, it doesn't matter. Just do whatever you want, because no one actually cares. Like no one's actually looking at you. So I realized like I could wear what I wanted, and I could be loud, or be funny or weird, and I didn't have to like hold back anymore. And this is after, I think it's just like realizing the lie that like you have to make yourself small. So I would say, yeah, college, I just kind of decided, this is all a lie. I can just walk up to someone and say, hi, my name is Whitney, and they don't care. And if they do, it actually doesn't matter. So that's, I would say that was it was like the Matrix opened up and I realized, wow, everyone's insecure a little bit, maybe. I don't have
I think that's a better way to ask that question. Maybe moving forward, we'll say, when did the Matrix open up for you? I mean, because that's really what that question is about. Because on our podcast, we like to, talk about, chasing your dreams, going after the things that you want to do, being sure of like, okay, what direction you're going. And sometimes we talk to people and maybe there's some days I wake up and I'm like, am I sure about this? But being sure of yourself, confident in like who you are, like, those could be a few different moments. And so, yeah, you're right on when you're talking about college and the confidence and the Matrix opening up. I mean, that's right on what we mean when we ask that question for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and there's been other moments too. I think specifically with my walk with the Lord, like, God's just done amazing things in my life. He's humbled me up. And so every time he does that, I trust God more, and then I'm more confident because I don't have to trust in anything else. I don't have to trust in any like job or any goal, because if I trust the Lord and fear him, then like everything else, I don't need to be scared of anything else. So I would say it's been like a slow growing process for my confidence, but that's God's work and he's been doing a good job.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That actually makes a beautiful transition to you talking about looking up to the Lord and looking to God for your path and all of that. Because the next question is, maybe just tell us actually kind of about your father and maybe a father figure in your life that, that you looked up to and really did help you maybe find that confidence or, just has given you more security in your life and, who you look up to like the Lord.
Yeah. So my dad, Steve, he's awesome. And I mean, biased. I know this is biased, but he's he's the best dad. Yeah. And I am super grateful for him. He has always been the person in my life to call out shame and insecurity and just tell me that it's not true. We've gotten in a lot of fights, especially when I was a teenager, over like, because we both can kind of be stubborn about what we think. But ultimately, I think the best moments I've ever had with my dad is when, first off, whenever he's encouraged me, and basically he's never treated me different because I'm a female. That's one thing. He just doesn't do that with anyone. So and it's not even like a conscious thing. It wasn't like, I'm going to treat Whitney just like everyone else because she is, she can be whatever she wants. It's more that like he just has the same standards for everyone in his life. And so he'd always kind of push us to be better. And that didn't really necessarily treat me or my brother differently from one another. And so that was amazing. And then secondly, there's been times where my dad has been wrong, which is not a lot. But when he has been wrong, he sat with me and he has said sorry. And awesome. And it's amazing. I never feel so loved by my dad when he like meets me where I'm at, sees that I'm sad, and then says sorry, or it gives a story of how he's felt like that before, which again doesn't happen that often, but it's super powerful. So that's my dad. He's the best.
That's so good.
So along those questions of father figure, that idea, I mean, praise God that you had a father that, pointed you to the Lord, asked for forgiveness when he was wrong. But in regards to the Enneagram, is there a specific Enneagram that makes a better father?
No.
Okay.
No.
I just, we're asking all the crazy questions, just trying to figure out what this thing is,
yeah.
But yeah, I was just curious if there was like a certain one that's like, oh man, you're going to be a great father because you're
to do this. Well, so this is what I like to say, and it kind of hits to one of the misconceptions about the Enneagram, is that character is actually completely separate than your Enneagram motivations. So I think the character that of humility is something that anyone and everyone can grow and work on, and I believe is the work of faith. When you have faith in the Lord, God calls you to work on things, and I think it's to build your character, which produces endurance, which produces hope and faith, So it's like I think with and the Enneagram, like there's different, I can definitely say that there's different types of behaviors. Like I can tell you, okay, if my dad, for example, is a type 8 and for sure has not been able to relate to my feelings. For him, it's a foreign concept to get stuck in feeling bad. He's like, just do it. Just get up and do it. And so that's mostly actually the point of tension we've had in our fights, is because I'm like, you don't understand how I feel. And he's like, you just need to do it. And I'm like, well, you don't understand how hard it is. Da, da, da. So I'm begging him to understand my feelings, and he's begging me to just do it. Just do the task that I've told you. So, anyway, and he's a father figure. So at the end of the day, I'm supposed to honor him, not the other way.
Right.
But yeah, so as for parenting or fathers, like you can kind of see like mannerisms are typical, or the way that they respond and react. But as for character, I think character is the most important thing when it comes to being a father. And that is 100% in our control, especially as Christians. We are given every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places. So we don't have no excuse.
Yeah, no, you're right on. Because I was just curious about that. Like, and then you said your dad's an 8. And then what are you?
Oh, that's right. I have the motivation of type 2.
Okay.
So that's the, I don't really like the term the helper, and that's mostly because it's kind of a misconception. 2s are motivated for people to like them and their fears of rejection. And so they don't necessarily love to help. They just use helping to get people to like them. So the helper is not the best word. It's more like, I've heard Beatrice Chestnut, who's one of like, I respect her the most in the Enneagram community. She calls it the befriender. I'm like, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so that's my type.
Okay, so the helper, and and these are again not like these aren't character things. These are motivators. So let's do this. Let's go to break. We're going to cut to a commercial real quick, and when we come back, we're going to dive into the Enneagram a little bit more. We're going to want you to figure out what Enneagrams we are. We took the little quiz you sent us, but maybe play that little game where you figure it out and see how close you are. And you're usually pretty right on, so I'm excited about that. And then and then maybe we'll figure out what the Milkman is by some questions we can answer.
Oh, your dad?
Yeah, well, maybe we'll figure out. So,
okay.
So yeah, let's cut to break and then we'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
Do you hate Mondays? So do I. But you know what I love? Tuesdays. And Tuesdays at Moravian Coffee, they're roasting up fresh coffee just for you. One of my favorites is Two Tigers, and Two Tigers is an amazing blend that Moravian Coffee sells. Joel had a dream. He was in between two tigers, which he felt was Fort Worth and Dallas, and Moravian's in the beautiful city of Grand Prairie. And also, all the boys at Moravian are from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the home of the Tigers. So if you want some delicious coffee, go to moraviancoffee.com. Use the promo code MILK for 10% off your order. And as always, we here at the Milkman Made Me love Moravian Coffee, and we know you will too. Thanks.
Wow. That is a great commercial.
Great.
Thank you, Chandler.
Nice.
Of course.
You sing so beautifully.
I sing really great. It's, it's because I'm a helper, so
Are you?
No, I don't know what I am. Whitney will tell me.
Whitney will tell you.
The last time we talked, I told her what I was, and then she asked me her question. She's like, "That's not what you are," and I was like, "Well, the quiz online said it, so I don't know what to believe."
Okay, the milkman's right here, and he's staring like he's staring at our milkman mannequin. Oh, he said he's about to go to sleep, but we're gonna throw the headphones on him real quick, Whitney, and we're gonna get the 3 questions you ask. You have like 3 or 4 questions and decisions, and the whole little you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I can ask you questions.
Yeah. So here, let's get the headphones. Whoever's headphones, let's get them on the milkman so you can hear Whitney. And talking to the mic real quick so she knows you're here. We're not just playing games.
Hi, Whitney.
Okay.
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
It's not us doing a voice.
Yeah,
So
no, that's
based on him doing a voice to introduce himself, do you already know what he is?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it says a lot, but I don't know how much.
I'm a 58-year-old goofball. That's why I have 3 goofballs to go with me. So they were trained well.
Okay, so now you know it's actually him. It's not us just playing the voice.
Far too fall from the tree. So
That's perfect. Okay. Well, are you ready for some questions?
you have 3 questions and you have 2 minutes.
I have 3 questions. Oh, that's actually a lot of pressure. I don't know. Okay. Well,
I thought you said 3, Spencer.
I'm putting too much pressure. She says she's an expert, so no. No, she's got it. She's got it.
I'll try to do very limited questions. So, when it comes to processing things, do you need to process things with others to get to a productive conclusion, or do you need some time alone to get to a productive conclusion?
It just depends on the situation. I mean, if it's something crazy complicated, then yeah, I'm going to reach out to folks who might know a little more than I do. But I mean, if it's something from 58 years experience, then I'm going to, so.
Okay. And then when it comes to thinking, feeling, or doing, what's your go-to reaction to an issue? Thinking? Okay. Now, when it comes to conflict and tension, how do you like sitting in conflict and tension? Do you like handling it, or do you tend to avoid it?
Conflict and tension.
Mm.
I mean, I don't like to be involved in conflict, so if that answers
You
the
don't?
question, no.
Okay. I would say,
Of course, there's never been any conflict with 31, 28, and 26 ever. So
He's talking about our ages. You're all
instead
of our names.
You're running a concentration. Just kidding. So when it comes to looking at an issue maybe in the world, do you tend to see both sides to things most often? Like, can you see multiple perspectives pretty easily? Hello?
I guess it depends. Once again, depends on the situation. I try to look at both sides, but if I've already made up my mind about a situation, then I consider other sides.
But yeah, okay.
Why are they laughing?
I don't know.
We're finding so much out.
Okay, and then I guess let me think. When it comes to shame, fear, and anger, what tends to pop up more often for you?
I mean, obviously, when you have 3 boys, anger approaches sometimes, and you have to learn how to deal with that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But
For
the
sure.
older you get, the way I look at it, and I tell people, hey, look, I'm just trying to get into heaven. So the less slow to anger is in Scripture, right?
Yeah.
So
That's some character, yeah. Okay, well, I mean, this is like super fast. Definitely would never say that I'm like 100% confident, probably more like 60% confident. But it sounds like you might be a 9. which is the peacemaker. They tend to see multiple sides of situations. They can process things with people, but they tend to process things better when they have some time alone and not put on the spot. I would say they usually can relate to all the types just a little bit, and which makes it very hard for them to figure out their type. They are all about having peace, harmony, and unity in their environment and their fears of loss and separation. And they have their childhood statement is that their presence doesn't matter. So a lot of the times, nines will kind of blend in so much that they kind of disappear a little bit. And so people overlook them. And so then that makes them feel like they don't matter. So that's the type 9 motivation. They're pretty much the best people to get along with because they're just comfy people. I like the term comfy people. So yeah, that might not be your type.
Situation of there's a lot of times that I try to convince myself to lay low.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't. And I'm not disagreeing with your.
This is quick, though. This is quick.
I understand,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying I don't try to. Gosh, I don't.
Hey, she's not the one that made it up, though.
No, I understand. I mean, it's.
Can Enneagram types be hereditary? Because I'm a 9.
No, but again, though,
a different
again, the 9
different
is
qualities.
it's hard to know, but also
or the wing. Yeah.
But also, I think when it said something in the description that made you, then that's probably, correct me if I'm wrong, then that's probably pretty close to what your number is.
Yeah, so this is what's interesting about the Enneagram that I actually like better than the Myers-Briggs and other types of like personality tests is that it's not necessarily putting you in a box, but it's pointing out the box that you put yourself in to survive the world, and ultimately points to your ulterior motivations to life. So it usually stings, and if it doesn't sting, then you haven't either dug deep enough or that's probably not your type.
No,
So
I agree with some of the things that you said. So
Yeah, it's good.
definitely food for thought. I know this is just like not the best forum to talk about it, but I'll only say some of the good things about the 9, so I don't end on a weird one.
well,
but-
welcome to the Milkman
like-
Made Me.
But yeah, 9s are they are very good at mediating, and I would say when they're truly connected to God, they actually can bring true peace into conflict and walk through situations pretty confidently. Not really scared about rocking the boat or concerned about imposing, but they walk with strong confidence moving forward, knowing that true peace comes from God and that they're a lightning rod for that peace. So that's like, a 9 that's kind of surrendered their idol to the Lord.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a song, "I Surrender All," and so that kind of makes sense, right?
That's like one of your favorite songs, isn't it?
Is
Wow,
it?
well, that's good. Cool.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Well, thank you,
Y'all come
Milkman.
back and see us.
Go and spend some time by yourself to process that because you're a 9. Put 'em
We don't know that. We do not know that. I've only
I want
asked
to talk about Meridian coffee.
Boy, what are you doing? Sorry. No, we don't know that. You're 60%. 60%. But we'll give you that. That's really awesome. That was perfect timing. He just kind of walked into the studio, so we are like, "Oh, hey, jump on." Yeah. And so we won't go through and make you do that process with all 3 of us. We'll go through and take that quiz that you gave us and kind of give you that. So you heard Chandler, and because I want to ask like the 3 of us, and this was kind of my thought with having you come on. Obviously, this is some personality tests, and but Enneagram can. I mean, again, you're, I don't know, better than I do, but maybe this can explain some of the ways that we work or do not work well together. So I would like to hear that a little bit, but you heard Chandler said he's a 9. Is that what the quiz said though, Chan?
Well, look, the quiz I took comprehensively like a long time ago, it was a 9. And what was funny is I was actually out at dinner the other night with some friends, and I was talking to them about like just chilling and hanging out at work and just like watching Netflix and just getting like paid basically to watch Netflix. And I was like, honestly, it's legit. It's so nice, like, because I really don't do that much and I'm just kind of chill. my friend was sitting next to me and she asked me, she went, "Are you a 9?" And I was like, "Yeah, how do you know it?" She's like, "'Cause I'm a 9 and everything you just said like sounds like the dream." And I was like, "Dang, that's crazy."
Are you a 9?
Well, and I'm like, I was like, "Yeah, how do you know that?" Like, because that's what gets creepy about it. Because it's like, what it says
like,
about it. But then I took that, like, I took the thing you sent to us.
And again, it's a sample.
Yeah, right. So being the sample, I feel maybe but the type 7 was the one that I answered most with. I answered like 7 questions at type 7. So like, what's the variation? Is that because I know that when like you're operating at a perfect, like when you're operating at your best or whatever, the qualities come out of your type. So like, why taking this quiz is it saying a 7, but really in general, like when I read what Peacemaker is, and then sometimes I'll wing into an 8 or I'll wing into a 1. So like, what's the process with that? Like
with that, so basically with the test is it's not, it's based off of your self-awareness and how you interpret the questions, which can honestly make some pretty huge variations in results.
Yeah.
And depending on how long the test is, the more questions you answer, probably the better results you'll get.
Right.
But the thing with 9s that I'll just say across the board, it doesn't even matter what test they take. It's a crapshoot that they'll actually get the number, because they're the only type on the Enneagram that actually doesn't really relate to themselves.
Dang.
So they tend to relate to everything else but themselves, because their whole goal is to disconnect from things that cause tension. And living is tense. So so 9s tend to disconnect from life and themselves. And a lot of the work for them is to realize like that they are disconnected and try to actually figure out what they're actually feeling, what's actually going on, instead of just kind of distracting or numbing out.
Do you have a good phone number for a therapist? Jeez.
I mean, that should be the next exactly. Exactly.
That's crazy that you said like the variation thing, because when I look at my results of like this quick quiz you gave us, literally it's kind of evenly spread. Like type 1 is 4, type 2 is 6, type 3 is 4, type 4 is 5, type 5 is 3, type 6 is 3, then type 7 is 7, then type 8 is 2, then type 9 is 2. It's like I was trying to edge into everything. Well, I kind of am like that, but I'm also kind of like this. But the disconnected and like that stuff, like there's so often. But then, so let me ask you, because it says here, I get like, the easygoing and all that. And the trusting and optimistic and creativity, like that's all there. I'm trying to see the thing. Yeah, the smoothly, and we don't want conflict at their best. So
at their best. Do you want to? Are you trying to ask for what your worst and best is? Or?
I mean, like, what would if I'm a 9? Like, how do I get to my best? Like, what's the steps to operate so where I am the creative and like what that come? How does that come about?
All right. So basically, for a 9, like the idol here is false peace. It's idleness. It's like it's disengagement in life.
Let me ask the idol, IDOL or IDLE? Like I'm idle or I'm idle?
Oh, well, the idol, IDOL, is idleness, IDLE.
Oh, wow. Dang.
And idleness and disengagement, they tend to kind of sedate their life. And so the issue is and this is where I feel like I differ a little bit in the way that I teach the Enneagram, because I believe that Christ is the way. The ego or the idol's motivation that is in you is contradictory to the gospel, because the gospel calls Christians to live not only forward towards God, but also against the world. And when we move against anything, that creates tension. If you look at Christ's life, a lot of the decisions he made were kind of, for a 9's perspective, not the best. Like going into a crowd and making a statement that he knew was controversial. and then to the point where everyone wanted to stone him, happened frequently. And but the best example I have with Jesus is when he's on the boat with his 12 disciples, and there's an insane storm to the point where they all think they're going to die, and Jesus is sleeping underneath the boat, and they come to him and ask for help. And when it comes down to the moment where he goes and helps, he walks through the tension and he tells it to be still. And that's, I think, the best example I can see of Christ not allowing the world's tension to hinder the power of the Holy Spirit and of God. And so that's how I see a 9 going to health, is that they are able to not just disengage from life. They're able to like walk forward with confidence, like I was saying with your dad, like, and really actually engage true peace, which true peace is meant to be in conflict and in storms and in tension. So, and present, so that's that.
Dang.
That's good. All right. So Connor.
Chandler, do you feel like you've learned a lot so far?
Are you okay?
No.
I knew you would.
He's not okay.
I knew you would really get.
No, I hate it because everything that you're saying about like the idleness and the disconnection, and like I'm like in the middle of that, like right now, like, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get out of it. And because it's like there was a time in my life when, like, that intentionality, and I understand, and I could take on tension, and I could move through conflict. And like lately, it's like I haven't been able to do that. Like it's just been hard, and so I'm trying to figure out, okay, man, what's the approach? And you mentioning and saying you actually need to walk through the conflict to get the peace, and I'm like, oh man, like I just need to face head on what I'm going through and be honest with myself.
Exactly.
And actually just be real and authentic, like, and what you were even talking about at the very beginning. No, the question of like, oh, what do people think of me about me and stuff? It's like we got to think. And a mentor of mine, he's like, you're thinking that, so everyone else is also thinking that, so they don't even care about you.
Exactly.
So I agree with that. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's good.
Feel good.
And Chan went from at the beginning like, yeah, right. Well, there's 2 weeks.
Enneagram's a bunch of crap. To Enneagram's not a bunch of crap. Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Maybe we should,
hunk of junk. He called it a hunk of junk.
Yeah. Now, so you're an 8, right?
No, she said her dad's an 8.
Oh, her dad's an 8. What are you?
Yeah.
2.
I'm the 2.
Okay, so then because 9 and 2s typically get along pretty well, right? No.
I mean, yeah, well, 9s get along with pretty much everyone.
Everyone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get along with everyone.
well.
Oh, okay.
So you can get along with everyone.
All right, great.
There you go, Connor.
All right,
get along
so
with
give me some gut punches. I'm ready. No.
Okay. Tell me your top 3 that you got.
Okay, so I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, am I counting right? What? 5 5s. So I have type
5
2.
times?
Yeah,
Okay.
type 2 is 5. Type 5, 6, and 7 are 5s, and type 9 is a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, my type.
So say that one more time. Just the first 2 is the type 2, type 9, type.
And 5, 6, and 7 are 5s.
Oh, are you 9 too? That's crazy.
I might be.
Did you relate to anything I talked about when it comes to the 9?
I guess I don't know, like, because I've always thought I was a 4, right? Because we've talked about it before, like, and I've done quite a few tests actually, and I always thought I was, somewhere in the 4, and like being, wanting to be myself, being an individual, but maybe I am a 9 because I feel like my dad, when you said, you can just get along with everyone, I was like, yeah, my dad's a big people person, and from him, we've all learned that to just kind of be, cool with everyone, people person, and so maybe that's, I don't know.
So there's also a possibility that you are a self-preservation 4. Now, I know it sounds intricate, and if you are a 4, it's going to be good news because it means you're even more complex.
I feel that.
This
Like, yeah, more special.
Yeah.
I'm already
more
on board with
complex.
this. I'm
Yes.
on board with this. He talks about his alien brain often.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, the
So
narrative.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on
so-
board with this idea.
Okay.
Can that express itself through art? Because if you've seen his art, it's out there.
It's really weird drawings.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is that can like that be an expression? Because you were talking about character, and then like it being separate, but then like, can we express our Enneagram through outlets?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well,
Good.
so let me share this with. Okay, so self-preservation 4s are probably the most mistyped. I know that I just said 9s relate to all the types. They're
Yeah.
the hardest to type, but self-preservation 4s are the most mistyped number in the Enneagram because they're known as the sunny 4. So they tend to be extremely happy-go-lucky on the outside, and then a stream of misery on the inside. So a lot of people don't know that. So because it's very the thing with the self-preservation 4 that differs them from all the other two, which the other two subtypes of the 4 are also extremely different, is that they tend to not complain as much or share their feelings. So when people give advice to 4s, like 4s need to, learn how to be happy, and also 4s need to learn how to appreciate or be content, etc. It's actually not very good advice for the self-preservation 4 because the self-preservation 4 tends to make themselves suffer by not complaining. So they'll never complain and they will always be happy. And so growth for a self-preservation 4 is learning to acknowledge their anger and pain and share it with other people and complain. So basically complain more and share their feelings more. And they tend to, all 4s tend to have this ideal perspective of where their life should be at, and they tend to work very hard to make it ideal. But out of all of the subtypes, the self-preservation 4 tends to have the most shame about that. They tend to have a very idealistic perspective of where they should be, and they make themselves suffer until they get there. But it's all internal. So,
Man, he's
anyway,
taking notes.
Yeah, I'm about to write some stuff down.
He's
for
writing
real.
this down.
So
And if
anyway,
and I'll just say this, if anybody's being impacted by anything that you're saying so far, if they hadn't been taking the notes, they need to be taking them now. And
Yeah.
for sure be doing that. But
yeah. So, sorry, go ahead. Well, all I had to say, because I did the growth path for the 9, I'll say for a self-preservation 4 specifically, on top of learning how to complain, acknowledge their anger, and share their feelings with people, which again, it sounds so opposite of the other two 4s, that they tend to, the sexual 4 and the social 4 tend to actually share their feelings frequently and want people to understand them. And the self-preservation 4 tends to really hold back their feelings. So sharing their feelings and not being as private is growth. But when it comes to biblical growth for the self-preservation 4, it's acknowledging the idealistic perspective they have, this comparison that they do, which is a form of envy. And for the self-preservation 4, it's a comparison to who they should be and where they're at now. And so there's this envy of where they want to be. It's this like unsatisfaction. And so if we're looking at the gospel in light of that desire, I first want to acknowledge that this life is never really going to be satisfying. And that's one thing, that's one thing that 4s know and feel very alone in that feeling, because everyone else seems to be trying to make life work for them. And 4s right off the bat have a sense that life is actually missing something. But it's not yet, right? The not yet is the kingdom of God. We do have the kingdom of God with us through the gospel, but what's coming is the restoration of everything, including beauty, including conflict, etc.
Yeah.
So for the 4 and the self-preservation 4, the relenting to Christ for their idealistic idol. So basically laying down the thing that they believe will make them happy, and realizing that they already know it won't, and that only through Christ can they find not necessarily a syrupy joy or like an ecstatic enthusiasm, but I would say a awesome, like an amazing, beautiful reality that this whole process of life, it needs to be submitted to Christ to be satisfying at all.
Yes. Man, I just wrote that down. That, whew.
Woo!
Ow, ow.
He'll be okay.
Woo.
All right,
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
No,
Oh, my turn.
no.
Well, I was going to ask, I think Spencer might be interested in this too, since he's going next. But is there any significance for the lowest number that we scored on this little test that we did?
So not necessarily. I mean, there could be if you have an interesting relationship with certain numbers on the Enneagram. A lot of the times, this is a good moment to point out something that I think is a good thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
People in the Enneagram tend to say things like, "Oh, I hate threes. Oh my gosh, eights are so annoying." Blah 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 blah. Don't do that, please.
Yeah, that's lame.
So basically, the one thing that I would say when it comes to typing yourself or is that, focus on your number. And if you have a problem with another number, then probably it resides in you and your relationship with other people, and it has nothing to do with them. So, if you have a problem with a certain type of person, it's probably because you have a problem, and because you can't change other people. And the way you're responding to them, why you feel so angry or upset or annoyed is in you. That's your problem. So that's what I would say on that. But there is this thing called subtypes, which is 3 instinctual needs that our brain is wired for, which is like intimate relationships, social relationships, and self-preservation. And if you lean more on one, it can color your type differently. And you have all 3 of those things. And you have a dominant subtype and a repressed subtype. That's all I'll say there, because it's very complicated. I do not want to lose everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you just talked about self-preservation and I was like, the what?
I know.
What?
And so, there's a lot to this. And so, I mean, that's why, you can be like studying it for as long as you are and then call yourself an expert, because there is so much to it that, somebody who just like takes a little quiz and be like, oh, this is what I am. They're far from truly understanding what the significance is beyond just, what it says they are. Their little title, the reformer, the helper, the chief, whatever. There's so much more to it than that.
Exactly.
Connor, did you have any other questions kind of on yours?
Well, I just wanted to say that the one that was lowest was type 1. So I don't know what that has to do with. Obviously, it was really good because you just went, oh. So,
yeah, kind of. Okay, so I'll say one thing. So 4s, this is another whole bag that we can't get into, but I will mention it for you.
Yeah.
The 4, when they are in security, does not mean health. It just means when they're feeling secure in themselves, they go to type 1 and they're able to complete tasks and finish things and get things done despite their feelings. And they can and instead of being more gray about everything, they can be more black and white. So they can choose truth rather than sticking with ambiguity and like what's right. So there's like a moral way they can go into security in one, but there's also an action. They like complete things and finish things. And so a lot of the times 4s have a hard time getting over the angst of the creation process of most things. And so it's a hard time. So for going to 1, it's like basically finishing that project or completing this. It is going into security. Now, when they're in stress, they go to 2, and they tend to be pretty like a little bit too much of a people pleaser, or like a 2. I'm saying calling myself out here. So a 2, they'll be overly helpful, but it's actually in stress. And a lot of people don't realize that when a 4 is being compliant and helpful, it's probably because they're very, very stressed out. If they're helping without being asked, you should ask them what's going on. So that's all I'll say about that.
Oh.
All right, so we've got a 9, a 4, and
Hey,
I'm
self-preservation for,
okay.
please.
Sorry. We've got a 9, a 4, and a 2. I'm a 2.
That's what you think.
You're 2?
I'm a 2.
Tell her your scores. That's the highest number you have?
Yeah, 7. I got a 7 for type 2, and then I have type 7 as a 6, and type 8 as a 5. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. I mean, there's been several times that we talked about I'm a 2.
Well, so when we've talked, we
Or
were
we say
actually
3?
at 3. Yeah. But we can talk because it's right next to each other, and it might
I may be a
2.
3 leaning 2 or a 2 leaning 3. I don't,
Yeah. I mean, we can definitely check it out, but let's go over the basic desire and fear of a type 2 and a type 3 really quick, so you can kind of. So the basic desire for a type 2, which is moi, is again to be liked. I like to say to be liked by everyone and loved by some, because I feel like everyone wants to be loved, but the caveat here is that 2s want to be liked by everyone. That's impossible. So they really have a hard time with just any form of rejection because that's their fear. Now, they can be people pleasing. They can be overly helpful. They can help almost they can kind of give their input and get involved when no one's asking. And they tend to kind of overdo all of their actions towards other people in hopes to get them to like them back. Now,
that's
if they're complete. What?
I'm looking at my brothers. I'm like, does that sound like me?
So here's the thing. Now I'm going to move to the type 3 because I don't, from my relationship with you, I don't know if you're 2, but it could be a surprise. 3's basic desire is to be successful and seen as successful, and their fears of being worthless and a failure. And this is expressed by earning people's love through doing things and doing them well. And so
that's more me. Yeah. I mean, I know. We said it's a 3 for sure. But it's weird because I typed 3. I scored a 3 on this short quiz. So I don't know if because I was sitting here. Sometimes the where you take these can maybe just and what you're feeling, how you're thinking, I guess can impact how these little things come out. But I've definitely been considered a 3 wing 2 for sure. Okay. So that's why if 2 pops out big, that could be it. Yeah. That makes sense.
Sure. And so I guess what I would say is so we'll just focus on the 3 then for now. But when it comes to 3s, they usually have the hardest time with their own type. So basically they have like a kind of, I guess it's like a dark soul night moment when they realize that the chase for something successful is actually not worthwhile or not like it's motivated by something that's pretty, in their mind shameful, which is to be successful and seen as successful. But they deal with this thing called deceit, and not that they're liars, but that they tend to deceive themselves into being the things that everyone else wants them to be. So if I can wear the mask of being the MC, if I can wear the mask of being the hostess, if I can wear the mask of being the entertainer, then people will love me. And so so the issue there is that there's the never-ending chase that's fueled by shame towards success because their desires to be loved by others. So I guess the biggest issue with the 3 is that they tend to lose their identity because of that. And they have a very hard time figuring out who they actually are underneath everything that they've built, because everything they've built isn't who they are. Like asking the question, what the childhood statement for the 3 is, you can have your own feelings, because for 3, they don't think they can actually have their own feelings. They have to feel what other people need them to feel and be whatever everyone else needs them to be. So they lose their identity completely, and it's like completely like a 9, completely disconnected from who they are, but mostly like a stranger, not like a numbing out.
Okay.
So it can be a pretty existential crisis for them.
Well, in that essence, in that reality, how do they find themselves again? How do
That's
they
a
get
great
back
question.
to healthy?
So for 3 getting back to healthy, what I would recommend and suggest is the gospel.
That's
Wow, it's gonna sound old. Okay, so when a 3 meets Jesus, the wrestle here is of glory and where glory comes from, and how the Father's love works for us. And so the growth for a 3 is to learn how to rest in the work of Christ and be able to let go of the shame of feeling not loved and embrace the message of the gospel, which is that Christ died on the cross when we were enemies with him, and that our glory is his, that when we accept that and give up our striving for making, for pleasing the Lord on our own.
Right.
It sounds like I'm telling priests to stop, and I'm kind of saying that. They just kind of have to stop for a second and ask themselves, like, what is my heart's desire behind the action I'm doing right now? Is God calling me to do this, or am I doing this out of a manic need to get people to love me or to prove my worth to them?
Yes.
Okay, y'all need to calm down. Connor and Chandler are over here.
You're so dead on with everything you said so far.
They're like,
Oh my
over here
God.
Hey,
staring
well,
at
hold
me
on,
like-
hold on. To his credit and to her credit, she also was on par and on point with you and I as well. So
I know.
Yeah,
I'm not
everybody.
surprised.
They're acting like I'm getting roasted. over
no,
here.
we're acting like, oh man, thank God, finally somebody is telling him what we've been thinking the past 28 years. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I am not even 28.
Yeah, what do you think?
Jeez.
Oh, man.
All right, so
Hey, man.
when it comes down to it,
The final thing-
when it comes down to it, we got a 9, a 4, and a 3
Hey,
working
get it
together.
You need to say self-preservation.
Self-preserving.
You had to include that.
That's how I
sorry.
identify.
Because if
Okay,
he's just called a 4, everybody won't know what's going on.
this ain't. He's
point.
just a basic 4.
Okay, so
Well, you just have we condense it and we just call him the Sunny 4 because that's the
Sunny
title.
4.
I like that. I like
All
that.
right, so
That's good.
All
when
right.
it comes down to, you got these 3 types. We're brothers. Okay. And we're trying to do this podcast together.
Yes.
And I'm over here like producer trying to like, guys, can we just like get this together? And then the second that I stop leading, one other person gets upset and like, dude, I thought you said we're trying to get this done. And then the next second there, and then the third, the 9 is over there like, I don't really care what happens. Like, do y'all want to do this or not?
No, the
Yeah.
nine is retreating because he's scared and he's trying to figure out how to fit in with a self-preserving 4 and also appease a 3.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so are we crazy for trying to do this, or is it possible?
No. Well, you guys are brothers.
Can
first
we
and
run a-
foremost.
can
It's
we
not
run a
like you're in,
billion-dollar
like, some form of
corporation?
death trap because of anything.
Okay. So
You
what we're
have
really
a
asking
relationship with-
is, can we run a $1 billion corporation
Oh my gosh.
together? No.
Who would need to be what role?
Yeah, who needs to be in what position?
Okay. So
We got our
that's-
COO.
Okay, let me put my 2 cents in here. So I would say this, like, if you're asking how the dynamic works, I mean, you probably all know how it works, but if you want me to advertise it, I will say that, like, the 3 is probably the engine and the gusto behind all efforts of the podcast. And you're right now in the assertive aggressive stance. So you are literally the one paving the way, has the vision,
Yep.
and making it happen and putting in probably 90% of the work. Now,
Hell yeah.
Yep.
well, and I'm not just saying it because I know you. I'm saying that's like 3's MOs.
Yep.
So then I would say you have 2 brothers that are in the withdrawing stance. And so basically, you they don't feel the need to like push any more than they want to naturally. Like, unless they're very passionate about something, they're not going to be the engine to most things. They're going to do what, like for the Sunny Four, let's get into specifics. The Sunny Four will most likely in a podcast situation be very interested in making it like deconstructing thoughts and finding the artistic perspective of things and discussing. Yeah. And most likely be pretty positive on the outside, even if they're frustrated on the inside. So there might be some like times where you guys disagree, and he might just go and then die on the inside. And then you have your brother Chandler, who possibly is a 9. I think with this more a little bit more aggressive. So maybe with an 8 wing. And so he probably likes to like mess with you guys a little bit and test the waters and kind of push things around. But if you tried to make Chandler do anything he didn't want to do, he would turn into a huge boulder that you would not be able to push. Yes! And so that's like a 9's way of fighting back, is that they just turn into this huge boulder. And it's not like they punch you or like fight with you, they just won't move, and there's nothing you can do to make them move. And so that's like the 9's way of being like, oh, you're gonna tell me what to do? Well, guess what, I'm not gonna move. Try to move me, because it won't happen. That's the 9. So
at the time
So this is what happened, Whitney. He went from
Kelso.
thinking this stuff is a hunk of junk to, wow, you really opened up my eyes to, now it's a hunk of junk again. Don't tell me what I am.
No, she just can't tell me what she thinks, and I don't want to hear. Oh wait, I'm becoming a boulder.
The boulder.
Well, then you tell me, Miss Perfect, how do you not be a boulder? How do you not be a butt to your?
Well, the boulder is a defense mechanism.
Okay.
So it's not like you're trying to be a boulder. It's
just I'm clicking in because. Okay.
Is he mad because he's not in charge? Is he mad because he's not in charge?
No, that's not it. He's mad because he doesn't want to do it. And you're making him. That's what.
But he shows up. He shows up every week on time.
No, I'm not saying he doesn't want to do the
'Cause he
podcast.
does.
Whenever he turns into a boulder, it's because you're making him do something he doesn't necessarily.
And there have been so many times when we've been in like meetings, like we'll be at a coffee shop, and they'll be like, "Bro, come on, talk," and I'm like, "I don't even want to be here right now." And they're like, "Dude, see, you do this every time." And I legitimately am just telling them, I just don't want to be here right now. Like, at another time.
There's no other thing to it. There's no other thing to it.
See, and they keep thinking that there is, and it's pissing me off, and it makes me tell them that I don't want to be there anymore.
Oh my God.
So you boys need to know when I say I don't want to do it or I don't want to be there, that's all I mean.
Yeah, and so on that note, 9s actually do say what they mean, and they have no other agenda, unlike probably us in the shame triad, which is 2, 3s, and 4s. We don't necessarily say what we mean. But 9s in the gut triad, the instinctual triad, which I'm saying a lot of words right now. I'm sorry if I'm losing people, but
you got it.
They don't ever say they don't say anything they don't mean. But they also don't say what they mean. So they will just, that sounds confusing, but this is what I mean by that.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
So they will say like, do you want to be here? Well, I'm tired, but I'm here. And then you could say, oh, he didn't mean that. He actually hates being here. No, that's exactly what he's feeling. But if he is very angry and upset, he's not going to share that. Or he doesn't even know because he's completely disconnected from his own feelings. So
he doesn't know why is what you're saying.
He doesn't know why, but he doesn't want to be there.
So how do I connect with my feelings?
Chandler, you need to probably do some meditation and yoga.
I've been thinking about doing meditation and therapy. A little bit of both.
Therapy's always good.
Yeah, therapy's always good.
Therapy.
And that's actually the point of the Enneagram, guys, is that, this leads you to actually to realize there's a problem and then ultimately go to Christ with that and do whatever means possible you need to do to work out that stuff. Because what that stuff does is it replaces God with an idol. And basically something that I really, really like to, hit home is that what you fear what you desire determines what you fear, and what you fear determines where your focus and attention goes, and where your attention and focus goes is what you're worshiping. So if you're constantly focused on distraction, or constantly focused on an ideal life, or constantly focused on future success, you're replacing God as the center of your life, and you're replacing that with a desire to get what you want apart from God. So if you notice, the theme is all three of you, when it comes to growth, needs to surrender and submit to the Lord. And it needs to find what you're looking for in him, rather than trying to get it by your own means, because you won't. And it'll lead to destruction and sadness and frustration and just disconnection.
Wow.
Yeah.
Preach.
Wow.
Well,
Good.
anyways,
No, hey, so
we gotta wrap this up because the pandemic special of South Park's coming on.
Oh, okay.
Just saying what I want.
He's just saying how he feels. That's true. Golly. But man, Whitney, thank you so much for joining us today, for gut punching us. It was a special treat that we got the Milkman on here too. We're going to cut away to one more commercial, and then when we come back, Chandler's going to ask you the final 3 questions that we ask all of our guests before they get let go for the episode, and say goodbye. And then after you answer the final 3 questions, then we want you to have the opportunity to plug yourself, where people can follow you, and seek out your Enneagram expert advice. So let's go away to this commercial, and then when we come back, we'll do that.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Connor, from the Milkman Made Me podcast, what you're listening to right now. I just wanted to come by real quick and let you know that we are on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube as well. We're not doing videos just yet, but speaking of videos, we have a great new video we posted on our Instagram recently of us eating jelly beans. So if you like that sort of stuff, please go give us a follow, and you can see more fun content like that and know when we post our episodes and future fun stuff that we got going on. And we promise we're not going to try to hack into your brain and put negative thoughts into your neural optics. We're all about positivity, truth, and honesty and joy here at the Milkman Made Me podcast. So please give us a like and a follow. Tell your friends, and we'll talk to you soon.
Oh my gosh. That was a great...
What is Sunny for?
What is Sunny for? And oh man. All right, Chandler, take it. It's all yours.
Okay. We would like to thank her. Oh, my bad.
No, not that part.
Oh, I'll scroll it up.
Yeah, you got the final 3 questions. I didn't send her the questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she doesn't know.
So I can come up with anything I want.
No, answer the final 3. Ask the final 3.
Okay. Okay. This is...
Oh yeah, you didn't come up with the...
I didn't come up with
you gotta
this.
Come up with it right on
I'm
the
going to
spot.
come up with it on the spot. Would you rather take a beach vacation and have free Mai Tais the entire time? Or would you rather go to the mountains and sit in a cabin and write a book and drink coffee all day?
Totally the mountain coffee thing.
Oh,
That's
girl, really? For real? Wait,
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
I bet.
No, I don't want. I mean, I don't really love alcohol. I don't really understand why people go, "Oh, I can't wait to get home and drink some wine." I'm
That's
like,
real.
that doesn't happen for
That's
me.
dumb.
And then also, I literally would love to go to the mountains and just relax and write a book. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Cool.
There you
At
go.
least it's productive. You know?
That was,
Number 2.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
you didn't say number 1, did you?
No, I didn't, but that's a new thing. I just thought about it.
Joe, you're on number 2.
Whoa.
Whoa, political.
Oh.
Okay, if you could have dinner with one person that's on this podcast, I'm just kidding. That's not the question.
Wow.
If you could have dinner with one person that's passed on from this life, who would it be and why?
Okay.
Probably
so,
different than the other.
Okay. Let me think. Fast on from this life. Okay. Besides Jesus, because I feel like that's such a cop out of an answer because everyone would choose that, would be Ella Fitzgerald.
Mm.
Chandler doesn't know.
Sing a song for him.
Ella
Sing
Fitzgerald.
a song.
If you want to, no pressure, no pressure.
Don't.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
Whitney's also a great singer. You guys check out her music.
Isn't also. But
Yeah. She does
Fitzgerald.
a dream. She does a duet with Louis.
Louis
and
Armstrong.
It's, yeah. And it's Dream a Little Dream.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
So it's like dream a little dream of me. Really good. She's saying she does a scat.
Wow.
Well, I don't know if she does a scat, but she's very good. So
Let me-
hands down recommend her as a vocal artist for sure.
Mm.
Okay, now is that because? Correct me if I'm wrong, but Fitzgerald, like F. Scott Fitzgerald's wife,
Yes.
right?
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Whose
No.
daughter?
His daughter?
No.
No relation. No relation. Maybe.
Are they
Wow.
distant cousins?
I mean, Fitzgerald is kind of
Number-
a common last name. I
Number
feel like.
3.
Number 3. Move on.
Well, I was
We'll
thinking
just do it
about
like
Yeah, I
106.1
was kidding.
in the morning
Number
show.
3.
They just cut to it before
Yeah.
she's ready. Number 3.
Oh, I wasn't done yet, but okay. I was gonna plug my
Kelly Raspberry.
hairspray.
All right, go ahead.
If you could go back and share one piece of advice with your younger self, what would it be and why? Hey, young Whitney.
Hey, young Whitney, what's up? Sorry you're killing yourself for no reason. I will say, my piece of advice for myself. It's hard because I don't think I would take it. Because I was super prideful. So I'd probably say something like, you should go to therapy and get diagnosed with ADHD sooner and take it seriously in high school instead of in college, because high school was awful because of that. So that's what I would say. I'm like, hey, go encourage your parents to like go to the therapist and realize what ADHD is and stop feeling so bad about it. So that's what I'd tell myself.
That's good.
That's really good.
That's the only thing I think I'd actually listen to. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right on. There you go. Thank you for taking the challenge of answering the final 3 questions. And now you have earned the opportunity to plug yourself as the great Enneagram coach you are. How can people follow you? And you're a great singer too.
Yeah,
you
your
got
music. You
music
gotta-
too.
you
So
gotta
whatever
push
it
that.
is, you got these 30 seconds to 60 seconds we like to give you, that you just plug whatever you want.
Okay, so basically, I have an Instagram page. It's at What's Wise, and on that Instagram page is just 3 humble posts, but there's going to be plenty more content coming, as well as a link to my future website, so which will be whatswise.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at Whitney@whatswise.com, which is WHITNEY @whatswise.com. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got right now.
That's
Nice.
amazing. Super
Right on.
professional.
Very good.
Any last
Gotcha.
words?
This is really fun, actually. This is really pretty fun talking with
actually?
you guys. and-
What does that mean?
Actually-
Actually? You didn't think it was going to be
Well, you
fun?
Acting like a real 9 right now.
I'm just saying that it was fun because like we all laughed and had a good time,
Yeah.
even though I was calling you all out. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's
great.
good.
It's fun to call each other out.
Oh, it's so fun.
You just gotta
I didn't
laugh.
Call myself out.
You just got to laugh about it, you know?
Yeah, you gotta laugh about it and then cry about it later.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's what I'll be
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm doing too.
That's what I'm doing right now, actually.
Right
I'm not
now.
gonna cry about it. I'm gonna sit and do nothing. Oh
It's
wait,
okay.
I'm just
There you go.
joking.
Well, awesome, Whitney. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the Milkman Made Me podcast. And for joining us this week, we don't have actually any.
I don't know.
There's no gift cards. Or
You won a free trip to the mountains. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
That'd
that's
be
actually
awesome if
so
we could
sick.
do that, but
In
we
your
don't.
imagination.
Yeah,
In your imagination.
sorry.
Later.
I have a mental cabin that
Yes.
I get to escape to.
There you go. Well,
Wait,
awesome.
Like
Do
the
that.
thing from Sherlock Holmes.
Mind Palace, yeah.
It's a mind
Mind
palace.
Mind Palace, but it's a cabin, and that makes sense because my inner world is very small.
Mind cat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Awesome,
Thank
Whitney.
you.
Have a great night, and we will talk. We will absolutely be having you on again. There's so much more to the Enneagram that we can dive into, and we look forward to that time. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wow. 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 Chandler,
Man.
come in on this. Oh,
Wow.
Boulder. Boulders don't sing.
Nope, not when you ask them to. Listen, man, that was a
The
jam.
rocks cry out. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Oh wow, there he goes.
Yeah.
Man, that was a jam-packed episode
Listen,
full of deep.
bro,
I know we're doing.
okay.
We're done.
Can
Okay.
Connor go pick up Tina's?
No.
Whoa.
He wants to watch the
Calm
show
down.
You want to watch it?
too. Yes.
We'll get delivery or something.
Listen.
I don't have to.
We
don't
have.
have
There's
delivery.
lots of places.
Listen, y'all. We just want to make sure we thank all our sponsors
Thank you.
for all the support
Thank you.
in all the ways
Thank you.
and all the things.
Thank you.
Thank you for encouraging us to chase our dreams. This is your fault.
Yes. Hey, guess what? This is the self-preservation for speaking here. Please don't do that again until tomorrow.
The milkman made me. The milkman made me. The milkman made me.
Wow.
Deep breath. You okay?
I
Yeah.
need the deep breath this week.
Here's
Okay.
the thing, though.
That episode was packed.
Calm.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though.
Don't tell me what to do. We learned some stuff about ourselves
Yeah,
today.
Chandler. How was that pie?
Humble pie?
Did you eat that?
Did you have a slice too? You goon?
I didn't really need it.
Mm.
I kind of knew where she was gonna come at me.
But the
Mm.
self-preservation?
Self-preservation.
Yeah,
Preservation.
that's what I said.
Not preservation.
Okay.
Well, Chandler,
Mm-hmm.
I know as a boulder I can't tell you to calm down, but
Calm
just-
down.
I just need you to.
Take a deep breath.
Wouldn't that make me calm down?
I just need you to fight against gravity
Mm.
and roll down the hill just a little bit slower.
I rolled down a hill once.
You did actually. Wait, no, that was somebody else. that
You
almost-
did.
No, I rolled down the hill and I
Did.
started the trend. I was 4 years old. We were at this
I
park.
have the video on my phone.
Yeah, I
Oh,
rolled down
yeah.
the hill and then everybody else started doing it because I'm a leader.
I'm going to post it on the social. People will see it soon.
Because he is a boulder.
He rolls like a rock.
Oh my gosh, I'm a rock and on this rock I will build my.
Okay.
Chocolate.
Okay.
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 No? Oh.
Okay.
I've really out of all
Okay.
the elements,
Mm-hmm.
if you were like a bender,
I've been compared to a rock.
no, like a
Earth?
bender, like Avatar benders,
Earth.
Earth. I would say you're definitely Earth bender.
Girthy, earthy.
What are we talking about girth for?
you do have girthy thighs.
What? Why you calling pies?
Man, I can't believe the 2%ers put up with us.
I'm glad they
Wow.
do. Do you want to find out what
I
your
love how
Enneagram is?
I love how subtly you just
I
put
threw
that.
that in there.
Hey, but actually, we should put in the.
Guys,
Hey, hold on.
7 minutes.
We really
Sure,
should.
we gotta go.
We really should put in the link to the.
Leadership thing.
I'm trying to be calm about it. We're trying to link people.
Well, we're
out.
trying to get it done.
Okay.
Chill. Calm down.
Can you fire engine him? Oh, I'm trying.
I can hear you.
I'm trying to cover the
I
mic.
can hear you. No, we really should put that link though, so the people who are listening can go and try out for themselves. And we'd love to hear your results and see what you're all about. And we hope that you guys find peace in whatever your Enneagram is.
Yeah.
And that we learn a lot about it for ourselves, and we actually make some changes. That would be really good. So we hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever time it is you're listening to this. And we'll talk to you
Peace.
next time.